The Last of Us Part 2.
I'm Mel, by the way.
Tommy. This is my brother.
Joe.
7 years after the release of the first critically acclaimed game, Naughty Dog brought us back to the world of Last of Us. This brand new story looked like we'd see Joel and Ellie working together to face a new threat. Except we never got to see that happen, all because Joel loses his life around 2 hours into the main story.
Get off me!
This caused outrage among players for multiple reasons. The way he went was extremely violent, and the marketing also featured extremely misleading scenes that had people believing that Joel would be alive for the whole game. While he admittedly had a lot to answer for, his demise came so quickly and unexpectedly that it upset no small number of fans.
God! Damn it!
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honor. One of the most controversial games in recent history, the follow-up to Naughty Dog's acclaimed zombie drama was beset by scandals before it was even released. Leaks saw the game's closely guarded narrative exposed, while the switch to a female protagonist and rumors of trans characters quickly brought out the most toxic elements of the gaming community. While critics were blown away by the finished product, praising it as one of the year's best, some players were left cold by the game's new protagonist, Abby. Its lessons about the futility of revenge fell on deaf ears, in part because many players' strong affection for the characters killed by Abby, leaving them unable or unwilling to empathize with her side of the story.
Abby! Hold on! Hold me up! Hold me up!
That note, we get to one of the most tragic characters in the anime, Kikyo. And can't help but feel sorry for what happened to her. She was willing to give up her priestess title if it meant she could be happy with Inuyasha, and he honestly loved her with all of his heart.
That comment...
These two used whatever means necessary to get what they wanted. So, yeah, you can totally understand why everyone hated them.
Taking in fuck all refugees. Turns out Lily Allen's crocodile tears were just one big act of virtue signalling. Now, the right always accuses the left of feigning their moral righteousness to appear kind and charitable, while in reality, behind the scenes, being nasty, vindictive, and uncharitable.
I swear, there is nothing suspicious here, Farm.
And of course, getting information wrong for the sake of a joke because he thinks comedy is
The truth about virtue signalling. It doesn't require doing anything virtuous. It takes no effort or sacrifice at all. Virtue signalling is a substitute for thinking. It's mindless groupthink amplified by the contrived fury of mob outrage. This is why narcissistic, self-loathing losers adopt left-wing politics. It's the only way that they can feel good about themselves. It's a mechanism for self-satisfied twats to pretend they're better than everyone else.
Am I saying that I'm better than you? I guess I'm going a little further than you are. Yeah, I'm fucking better than you, okay? Much better than you.
Virtue signalling is inherently self-serving and selfish. The purpose of virtue signalling is to assuage guilt and gain unearned social brownie points. The purpose of virtue signalling is to incentivize others to regurgitate glib leftist narratives and create giant echo chambers. As with everything the left does, it's the lust for raw power disguised as altruistic beneficence. The aggressive virtue signaller is attempting to compensate for their lack of virtue. I'm sick to the back teeth of virtue signalling. I'm sick of all you sanctimonious phonies who engage in it. And I'm calling you all out on your bullshit right here, right now.
I'm so sorry.